What's going on, drummies? It's Arty here. Today we're gonna do a review of the amazing Mace. First of all, a little disclaimer. This video is not sponsored, nor am I affiliated with the companies that are going to be mentioned in today's video. The opinions in today's video are mine and mine alone. Now, Amazing Mace is a fairly new mace company that just launched in 2020, but they have been around since late 2019. Now, they created a mace that was specifically for competitive drum majors, especially for high school competitive drum majors and parade drum majors in mind. So basically, drum majors that spun on concrete, did L pattern, this mace is for them. Now, if you've been seeing these maces on Facebook, or if you saw the intro, you might be thinking, Arty, that mace looks very familiar. And I thought the same thing too. In fact, this mace looks a lot like the Peacock American mace. In fact, I actually have an American mace right here. And looking at the heads, you'll see that they look very similar. Now that's pretty much where the similarities between the American mace and the Amazing Mace pretty much end. Now the philosophy behind Amazing Mace is that they essentially didn't want to reinvent the wheel. They took what was already existing and they improved upon it, and I can pretty much attest to that. If you look at my mace collection I have right here, most of these maces are between 20 years old, some of them are a little bit older. Maces, especially the American maces, have pretty much remained unchanged for over 20, 30 years. And I can pretty much say that over the past years that I have been using American maces, I have broken probably 5 or 6 of them. Now, according to their website, they actually worked with marching band directors and many drum majors to develop a mace which was engineered for all levels of performance, and I really applaud them for that. This is one company which I would consider an FCBC company, or for competitors by competitors. So this mace company, I believe, was actually started by a competitive drum major, and he wanted to make a mace that was engineered for competitors, as opposed to most other mace companies which make maces for ceremonial purposes, and competitive drum majors are more kind of an afterthought. Now, starting from this video and here on out, I'm gonna be starting a brand new rating system for all drum major equipment that I review. Normally, previous videos have me just doing my own personal opinion, you know, kind of like, I gave this mace a 3 out of 5. I gave this mace a 4 out of 5. And not really any basis of what my rating system was. So, from here on out, I will be actually rating maces based on the overall construction, spin and balance quality, the price of the maces, and the customer service of the company. All factors of these rating systems will actually be judged on a 5-star rating. However, all ratings will actually be rated together and averaged in an overall score, which will give you my final score on my personal rating on how I feel about this specific product. So if you want to see if the Amazing Mace truly is an amazing mace, then keep on watching. First, we're gonna go over the overall construction of the mace. Now, the Amazing Mace's construction is very similar, as I said, to the American Mace. So I have here the Amazing Mace and the American Mace. Now, as I said, the Amazing Mace's construction is very similar to the American Mace, in that you have your standard chrome-plated brass head, fiberglass shaft, and full metal ferrule. You will notice some branding on the shaft, which is very rare in mace companies. The only company other than Amazing Mace that I have known to brand their products was Ken Chrome. You will notice that the Amazing Mace's ferrule is actually significantly longer than the American Mace. The mace ferrule is tipped off with a rubber protective tip. Now, the Amazing Mace comes in 3 colors, black, white, and blue. Now, I'm not sure if this is just my mace in particular, but I noticed that upon when I first got my mace, that they added kind of like a little bit of like shimmer in the shaft of the mace, which, I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, work. Now it's not a really like a glitter. I mean, you're not gonna be spinning a glitter stick, but it's like if the sun hits it just right, you'll notice like a little bit of shimmer in there, which, I mean, it adds a little bit to the overall quality or the overall appearance of the mace. Now, I'm actually interested to see how the blue one looks with the shimmer, because if the black one has a very light shimmer, the blue one, which is a more lighter shaft, may be interesting to see how the glitter appearance appears in that mace. The maces also come in the standard 58 inches in length. However, it can be shortened to 51 inches for all you shorter drum majors. The mace head is fastened to the fiberglass shaft with 4 screws, in contrast to the American Mace, which only has 2 screws. Next, you may notice that the mace shaft does not have any chains or screws in it. The Amazing Mace actually does not have the option to have chains or cords yet. However, this is an option that they are still working on. Side note, it is possible to order an American Mace without screws in the shaft. However, this eliminates a form of reinforcement which results in a rattling of the internal weight, as seen here. Going on to the internal construction, when we remove the crown of the mace head, we can notice that the mace dome and crown are actually machined in a way that they interlock with each other. Furthermore, if we look at the internal weight and screw, you can notice that the weight is designed to interlock with the dome. Also, notice the shorter screw. Compared to the American Mace, this may help in eliminating a potential weak point. I can't really tell you how many times I've actually broken a American Mace because the internal screw actually broke, which actually prevented me from screwing the dome onto the mace head. Also, I don't know if this is just my specific mace, but the dome seems to snap on compared to a American Mace, which just kind of sits on the mace head. This one actually seems to snap on. So in theory, here is the dome, what I call the dome butt. And if I put the mace head on, you'll hear it kind of snap into place. Wait, hold on. There, it's now it's actually snapped on, which means that if this crown were to break off, that mace, that dome is not coming off. So you should in theory be able to finish your performance without this mace head coming off, which that is a major plus to the construction. Now, Amazing Mace claims that their maces can withstand a drop from a 3-story toss. Now, if you go into their Facebook page, you can actually see them demonstrating by them doing a really, really high power toss and just letting it drop on the ground. To me, as a competitor and who's spun several fiberglass maces in the past, it just makes me cringe when I see that fiberglass mace hit the concrete. However, in order to fully test out their claims, I decided to run my own test. Now, normally with fiberglass maces, I wouldn't really recommend doing this, especially with a brand new mace, but according to their website, they said it can withstand a 3-story drop. So we're gonna try that out. Here it goes. Okay, so it actually survived a 3-story high power toss. Now there is some chipping right there on the shaft right there. I guess some of the finishing came off, or I guess it just came from the gravel in the track. But overall, I think it survived. You mean the crown did come a little bit loose but other than that, a lot of the damage, any damage, was largely cosmetic. So I think we can say that, yeah, this can definitely survive a 3-story drop. Now, my overall rating for the construction is a 5 out of 5. They really put a lot of thought into the overall construction of this mace. They had every aspect in mind when it came to what drum majors look for an actual quality mace, and also what certain hassles they faced when a mace part broke. So I feel like I feel like Amazing Mace actually deserves a 5 out of 5 rating for overall construction. Moving on to spin and balance. The Amazing Mace has nearly the same spin and balance quality of an American Mace. It's not drastically different in balance like a regimental mace or a dolman mace. However, this is actually a good thing, especially for competitors who are considering switching over from an American mace. From my personal standpoint, I prefer to have Scottish style cords on my maces for added grip. And just like a standard fiberglass shaft, this may be a tad slippery for some people. Also, in terms of wind resistance, it's pretty much exactly like an American mace. It's not as wind resistant as the Revolution mace. However, I think that the longer ferrule on it may actually contribute to it to being a little bit more aerodynamic than the American mace. Now we go on to price. Now if you notice, I actually have a lot of maces here. I actually have done business with several mace companies, and especially with the Malacca style maces. And one of the things that I noticed with Amazing Mace is that the price is actually pretty affordable. Amazing Mace retails at $250. Now you may be thinking, that is expensive. And I agree, that is expensive. However, when you put it into context, this is actually more affordable than a wooden mace. These wooden maces technically will start off at around $400 and they will go up from there, with the dolman mace retailing around $500–600 US, and the Revolution mace retailing around $600–700 US. Now, also putting things in perspective, the Amazing Mace being $250 compared to the American Mace, which usually will retail around $200. Now if you go onto bandshop.com and look at the American Mace, they are retailing for $199.95. Let's be real, $200. And if you go onto Peacock's Marching World, where usually everybody gets their American Maces, they are charging $209, and that's just for the base price. That's for a mace without cords, without chains. That is the base price of a Drum Major American Mace. And also, that price is before taxes and before shipping and handling. So when you think about it, when you're spending $200 for when you're considering spending $200 for an American Mace, when you think about it, you might as well spend the extra $50 and get a higher quality mace that may last you longer than the American maces, which have been known to break after 2 to 3 years of high usage. So when you think about it, $50 might be a worthwhile investment for a higher quality mace. Overall, my rating for the price of the Amazing Mace is a 4 out of 5. Finally, we're gonna go into customer service. Now, compared to a lot of drum major mace companies like Moffett, Dolman & Narborough, Regimental Mace Company, you usually will have to get in touch with the company. You will have to send in an inquiry, you have to wait for them to respond back, and then they kind of have to talk you through the process of what kind of mace do you actually want? What do you want? What specifics do you want? And every now and then, every more specific you get with the mace, the price kind of goes up. Now, Amazing Mace actually does have a website, which I will link in the description below. But also, one interesting thing about Amazing Mace is that they operate out of Amazon. Amazon.com. So if you go onto Amazon.com and actually type in Drum Major Mace, you will most likely find the Amazing Mace. And when I did the search, of course, a few Pakistani maces came up, but one of the first results that came up was the Amazing Mace. And even if you go onto their website, it will direct you to go onto Amazon and order it from there. Now, why do I like the fact that you can order it off of Amazon? Because you can get the mace faster. You don't have to email the company. You don't have to contact the company. If you want the mace, add it to cart, click, pay, buy, and it's at your door. That is what I really love about this mace company, is that you can just buy it right then and there. And also, as I said before, you have the option of shortening the mace. So when you buy the mace, it's not gonna give you an option of shortening the mace. But however, when I ordered my mace, I actually got a phone call a day later from Amazing Mace asking, "Hey, do you want? I saw your order. Do you want the mace the standard 58th length? Are you looking to shorten your mace?" I told them, "No, I just want the regular 58-inch and standard length." And then they said, "Okay, great. We'll send it out to you today." And within 2 days, I got my brand new mace. Now I did opt for expedited shipping, so I did pay a little bit more for that faster shipping. But if you don't want to pay that extra, they do have their regular standard shipping rates. Now, overall customer service, 5 out of 5. They contacted me, they actually found out what do I want, they confirmed, is this what you really want? And I told them, yes. So the customer service, overall communication, the overall ordering experience, 5 out of 5. So now that we talked about the overall construction of the Mace, the spin quality, the price, and the customer service, let's go on to my final rating. As you can see, here are my 4 categories for my overall rating: construction, spin quality, price, and customer service. So overall, I will have to give this company a 4.5 out of 5. Almost a 5 out of 5. They're a brand new Mace company, and I'm really excited to see where they're taking this Mace company in the future. I would like to see a little bit more options. I would love to see a wood look Mace shaft for these Maces. I would like to see possibly maybe them introducing maybe some wooden options that might make the Maces a little bit more expensive, but I would love to see wooden style Maces in the Amazing Mace. Overall, my experience with Amazing Mace, especially receiving the Mace and ordering the Mace, is entirely a positive one. I'd have to say that the Amazing Mace is ArtyMac approved. So I actually can't wait to use this Mace in more tutorials and more videos. I'm really excited to see this Mace being used in Street, in L pattern, possibly maybe even Scottish games, and it just shows that now the Mace drum majoring Mace community and the drum majoring Mace industry is actually growing, which is truly making Mace manufacturing a true competition. There's more options out there for all you drum majors. You don't have to settle for one Mace company. You don't have to settle for going to just that one company. You have more options now to choose from. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel, follow me on all my social media, and as always guys, keep marching and keep flourishing. I will catch you all later. Alright, throughout this entire video, I just realized I didn't plug in my mic. So I apologize right now if the audio sounds really dumb.